local, live, late-breaking. WESH 2 News starts now.
Now at noon, we were tracking rain and storms overnight, but now those systems have cleared out. You can see the radar is calm, but we do have another impact day on the way tomorrow. First warning, meteorologist Kellyanne Class is here to bring a forecast.
Yeah, things are shaping up really nice for our Friday afternoon. Lots of people enjoying the beaches where we have mostly cloudy conditions, but peaks of sunshine and at times more sunshine rather than cloud cover. So that's warming us up to 90 degrees in Orlando, 89 already in Daytona Beach, 90 degrees in Bithlo, 87 in the Villages, and 91 degrees in Palm Bay. The other thing that's heating us up is a southwesterly wind, and it's quite breezy. We're seeing sustained winds of 20 to 25 miles per hour, and at times we've seen wind gusts of almost 40 miles per hour in some locations. So it's definitely morning, or this afternoon rather, and then later on in the day we'll watch for maybe a few more isolated showers, but not expecting big rain chances until tomorrow morning. That's also an impact day. We'll break it all down for you, talk about what you can expect hour by hour, and have a look at that full holiday weekend forecast coming up in a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you soon. Well, the severe weather we were monitoring caused some damage in Escambia County. Take a look. A large tree came down near a mobile home. You can see how hard it was raining there. In Texas, a community in the Panhandle is reeling after a tornado hit. 3 people have died, and search and rescue crews are still combing through the wreckage. NBC's Sam Brock shows us the extent of the damage. Wow. All right, happening now in Orange County, organizers behind a number of major projects are making their case for millions of dollars in tourist tax money. That includes funding for UCF, which is asking for more than $176 million over the next the university's sports facilities. School officials say athletics brings lots of eyes and visitors to Central Florida.
UCF on game day welcomes 45,000 fans, 740 game day employees, and based on the Big 12's average viewership, we will broadcast to an average national audience of 3.9 million viewers.
The Association to Preserve the Eatonville Community is asking the Tourist Development Tax Citizen Task Force to recommend it. $7 million. They want to build a bigger museum, along with a conference center and a STEM learning center at the former Hungerford School site in Eatonville. And the city of Orlando is requesting cash for improvements to the Amway Center. Well, a sting operation led by St. Johns County Sheriff's deputies led to the arrest of 14 people. Investigators say they were all suspected of targeting children for sex. That includes the arrest of 41-year-old Alberto Garza by Port Orange police. He traveled to Volusia County from San Juan, Texas, to have sex with who he believed was a 14-year-old girl. Detectives want to remind parents to monitor what their children are doing online. The son of an NFL Hall of Famer who played high school football right here in Central Florida has died. Ray Lewis III, son of legendary linebacker Ray Lewis, died at the age of 28. He played at Lake Mary Prep High School before playing college football at Miami, Coastal Carolina, and Virginia Union. Details around his death have not been released. Well, covering Florida, 5 dogs sadly passed away when an RV caught on fire in Tampa just days before a dog show.
Get away from there!
It's just terrible. This RV went up in flames in the parking lot of the Florida State Fairgrounds. There were 5 boxers trapped inside that were set to compete in the American Kennel Club all-breed dog show tomorrow. No people were hurt.
Part really, and there were dozens of people that were trying to save them when they saw the smoke, but it was too late, so that's even more difficult for them to grapple with, that they weren't able to help them.
That's awful. A spokesperson for the American Kennel Club said, in part, quote, "Our hearts are with those affected, both human and canine." The pool deck at the Surfside condos in Miami is likely the reason for the deadly collapse that happened nearly 2 years ago. 98 people died there. A preliminary report from federal investigators suggests the condo's pool deck wasn't strong enough. Structural engineers say it could have destabilized columns underneath the main part of the building. A final report is expected to be released in 2025. The president of Ukraine is raising some concerns ahead of the 2024 He says he is worried that Governor DeSantis and former President Trump have talked about changing the U.S.'s policy regarding support for Ukraine. NBC's Richard Engel sat down with Ukraine's president in Kyiv. Defense officials from NATO countries in Brussels today, one of the topics for discussion, possible membership for Ukraine. Zelensky says Ukraine must have a clear path to membership with security guarantees, which is something strongly opposed by Russia. Well, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken today for high-stakes meetings with senior officials. This trip comes amid a tense relationship between the two countries. Blinken is expected to address that tension. He will also stress the importance of open communication while there. Much of the tension comes from events where the U.S. claimed China sent a over the country and a recent close call between Chinese and American ships and aircraft. Taiwan is another area of concern. China claims the island as its own territory, but the White House said they will intervene if China invades. U.S. officials do not expect a breakthrough in relations, but say they hope the meeting will help. While overseas, Blinken is also expected to rally international support for Ukraine. A wrong-way crash that killed both drivers is under investigation right now. This happened on State Road 417 around 2 o'clock in the morning. A BMW was going the wrong way on the southbound ramp to State Road 528. The driver, a 29-year-old man from Orlando who was behind the wheel. The BMW actually erupted in flames. Investigators are still working to identify the driver of the BMW, who also died at the scene. We'll take a look at this. A sinkhole opened up at the corner of Cleveland Street and Abbott Avenue in Titusville, and a pickup truck drove right into the hole. Look at that. Nobody was injured, and firefighters say the driver was able to climb out by the time they arrived. The fire department says a water main is and that repairs are being made. Wow. Well, Brightline service to Orlando could be impacted by a new order issued by the U.S. Coast Guard that would open a drawbridge twice every hour along a stretch of tracks in Martin County. Under the plan, the drawbridge over the Okeechobee waterway of the St. Lucie River Bridge must open at 15 and 45 minutes past every hour and stay open for up to 15 minutes to allow boats to pass. This would disrupt Brightline service between Orlando and South Florida once train service starts running. It would also have an impact on traffic in the area and freight trains as well. In a statement to us, a representative for Brightline said in part, quote, as written, it is deeply flawed and will result in dramatic impacts to local traffic, create safety issues for the public, and is impossible for freight and passenger railroad operations to comply. We will continue to pursue reasonable and equitable resolutions to the issue. The Coast Guard is expected to drawbridge twice every hour starting on June 21st. Kids in one Orlando neighborhood have a new place to play. The city cut the ribbon at Prince Hall Park in Richmond Estates. The $600,000 park includes a table of connection where people can hook up to free Wi-Fi and charge their phones. It also has 2 new playgrounds with slides and climbing racks.
This park is a place where we can come to improve our physical and mental well-being. It's a space where we can come together as a community and enjoy each other's companies.
The new park on Prince Hall Boulevard also includes fitness equipment and a lot of shade to keep kids out of the sun. Next at noon, why being a night owl could be hazardous to your health, and nearly an entire day spent in the air. New research shows whether a 19-hour flight to Australia could become a reality. Plus, a deputy new title a baby on the side of a busy Florida highway, what he was doing when that frantic dad called for the deputy's help.
Closed captioning is sponsored by the Flooring Center.
In Central Florida, breaking news never stops.
No matter the time, no matter the place.
WESH 2 is your breaking news station.
Covering the stories happening here and now, straight from our community.
No matter where the story takes us, our teams are on the scene.
Keeping you informed as each situation develops. Trusted coverage of what matters most.
Central Florida, we have breaking news covered.
WESH 2 News is local, live, late breaking. You're watching WESH 2.
A Hillsborough County Sheriff's deputy has a new title and a lifelong bond with a family after he helped deliver their baby on the side of a highway. Isabel Rosales talked to him about how quickly he changed gears. What a story. Story of the day right there.
I have the chills right now. That is amazing.
Isn't that sweet? Bonded for life, no doubt about it. Well, taking a look at the forecast. Changes could be coming for the weekend.
Yeah, Father's Day weekend kind of starting off a little bit rough. We're going to be tracking showers and thunderstorms as well as the potential of a few strong storms. Not quite severe weather, but we do have the opportunity for some showers and storms. So just keep that in mind with any outdoor plans that you're making Saturday and on Sunday. And out the door right now, it's not a bad start. We have a mix of as we take a look at Lake Dora, more cloud cover than sunshine, but we're still heating up pretty quickly. We're at 86 degrees in Leesburg, 87 in Claremont, 90 degrees in Orlando and Bithlo, 89 in Daytona Beach, and 86 Beach. Now, highs today are expected to top out area wide into the low 90s, but it's breezier. Winds today will be sustained at about 15 to 25 miles per hour with gusts as high at times is about 25 to 30 miles per hour. Right now, first warning radar is nice and quiet. Not really any rainfall to track right now, but we'll increase that to about a 40% coverage around 4 and 5 o'clock this evening. By 6 o'clock, we're down to a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Then on Sunday, we just have our typical showers and thunderstorms. Monday for Juneteenth, a 50% chance of rainfall. And then as we look towards next week, it's just that busy, active pattern of daily showers and storms with highs in the low 90s. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Injured? Call America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
From morning to night, WESH 2 First Warning Weather is Central Florida's most accurate. Certified by WeatherAid, now for 16 years straight.
No matter the forecast, we'll help you plan for today.
And to prepare you for tomorrow.
From the first warning of severe storms to the perfect time to get outside.
We have the most accurate forecast around the clock.
That's our commitment to you.
Experience, accuracy, trust. WESH 2 First Warning Weather.
Two mountain climbers celebrating at the top of Mount Everest are breaking boundaries. Anna Corin shares this incredible story of the first deaf climbers from America to reach the tallest peak in the world. Incredible journey for them. Well, next at noon, we have another check of your Friday and Father's Day forecast. And a woman loses her leg after being attacked by a shark. What she did to finally scare it off. Plus, dozens of parrots are safe after someone tried to smuggle them through an airport. How the suspect was caught.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Rubenstein Law. Injured? Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL.
Local, live, late-breaking. WESH 2 News starts now.
Powerful storms hit Texas this week. At least 3 people are dead and over 1,000 were left without power. As John Lawrence reports, the governor there has declared a state of emergency for a small panhandle town. All right, now to Howell, Michigan, where a hailstorm caused significant damage to a Michigan State Police patrol car. Troopers posted these photos on social media. You can see the hail hit the roof, the hood, the trunk of the car. Some of the hail was as big as a golf ball. Some wild weather out there. Okay, turning our attention now to Central Florida. Kellyanne Class is here with a check of our Father's Day forecast.
Yeah, things are looking pretty good to start off our weekend right now. We're dealing with mostly sunny conditions, some clouds mixed in. Just keep in mind, it's warm. It's also very breezy outside. Right now, temperatures are into the 80s and 90s. Coolest spot is actually in Palm Coast at 84 degrees. We're at 86 in Leesburg, but 90 degrees in Orlando, 90 degrees in Bithlo. Feels like temperatures are more like 98 in Orlando, 99 in Bithlo, 100 in Ocala, and 100 degrees in Claremont. Then feels like temperatures area wide this afternoon will feel a lot more like the triple digits. Right now, first warning radar is pretty quiet. Not much happening in Central Florida, but taking a zoom out, we have this cluster of showers and thunderstorms that has cleared Pensacola, working through Destin and now heading towards Tallahassee, and this will supply these locations with strong and severe storms. Right now we're pretty quiet, but we are going to be tracking our own threat of severe weather tomorrow. We'll talk about why this is going to be different from our afternoon showers and thunderstorms coming up in a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you soon. Well, a Hernando County man will spend 30 years in prison in the first texting while driving vehicular homicide case to go to trial in Florida. Gregory Andriotis was convicted of multiple charges for the 2016 crash that killed a 9-year-old boy. A law passed in the wake of distracted driving a primary offense, allowing officers to pull drivers over if they're using a phone behind the wheel. Well, there's history being made on the federal bench. The U.S. Senate confirmed Nusrat Chowdhury as the first Muslim woman to serve as a federal judge. She's also the first Bangladeshi American to join the federal judiciary. President Biden nominated the civil rights attorney in January of last year. The White House said she would help fulfill the president's promise to ensure courts reflect the diversity of the country. Has been released from the hospital in Rome. This is new video of him being discharged. He had abdominal surgery for a week ago and removed painful scarring. His surgeon told him the 6-year-old is better than before the surgery. Well, more than 24 critically endangered pets rescued after being smuggled, and her team took them under their wings in California. They were poached while still eggs from their nest to be trafficked, which is a crime ring, and transported in temperature-controlled bags. But one of the eggs just happened to hatch right as the smugglers went through customs.
Agents heard the little parrot cheepy sounds that were coming out of the thing and asked to see inside it.
Wow, the eggs were confiscated and hatched at a sanctuary in Miami. After that, more than $25,000 are raised to fly them to San Diego. The team plans on returning them to their native home. A woman extra alive after she was attacked by a shark while scuba diving in the Bahamas. Heidi Ernst says she's done hundreds of dives and has never really feared sharks, but she was getting back onto the boat when a shark bit into her leg. She then smacked it with her hand to scare it off.
All I could see is that it was shaking its head side to side. By the time I was in Miami, my leg was already infected.
Ooh, wow. She is still in a Miami hospital awaiting her 4th surgery, but says she is already looking forward to her next adventure. A warning for night owls, why people who stay up late could be cutting their life short. We're taking a look at the research next at noon.
Closed captioning brought to you by National Floors Direct.
New at noon, advisors to the FDA are recommending that COVID vaccines be updated to target a strain of the virus that's currently circulating. They're also pushing for newer vaccines that provide longer-lasting protection. The FDA will make the final decision soon on which strain to target. Pfizer has a new warning out this afternoon. It expects to run out of a certain form of penicillin by the end of the month. Pfizer says bicillin is not widely used in pediatrics, but the adult formulation is recommended treatment for syphilis. The company is working to increase production after demand of the drug grew during an amoxicillin shortage. Well, those of us working long overnight shifts may have formed some bad habits that could lead to an early death. Night owls have an increased risk of mortality, mainly because of a larger consumption of alcohol and tobacco. Results from a study of 24,000 twins from 1981 to 2018 pinpointed the causes of health-related behaviors and diseases. Researchers found that going to bed and getting up later in the day increased the risk of an early death by about 9%. A lot of adults are saying they've been depressed at some point in their lives. This CDC report found this to be true for nearly 1 in 5 adults in America. The results vary by state to state. In Hawaii, just under 13% of adults surveyed said they were depressed. In West Virginia, it was nearly 28%. Here in Florida, about 15% of adults reported dealing with depression. The depression rate was 24% for women and 13% for men. Well, flying can be a pain, but could you stand a 19-hour non-stop flight? The research is in about whether one airline can make this kind of flight a reality. What they found next at noon. Summer travel is here and millions are going to be crisscrossing the country and the world for vacation. But could you handle a 19-hour flight? NBC's Tom Costello takes a look at the research of whether people can handle a non-stop flight to Sydney, Australia. All right, if you're wondering, the coach seats on these Qantas flights will not lie down flat like first class seats do for sleeping, but the new planes they are ordering do offer more room. All right, what better way to celebrate Father's Day than with a rocket launch? SpaceX is set to send up communications satellite for the Indonesian government on Sunday night. The launch window at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station opens at 6:04 p.m. and lasts about 3 hours. And hopefully, Kellyanne, the weather will cooperate with that. As for the dads, I don't know, like there's no pressure for nice weather because don't they just want to nap anyway?
Right.
Isn't
They
that what
want
all
someone else to cook for them.
Yeah.
They want to eat the food and then they just want to go take a nap.
Yeah. So, you know,
exactly.
whatever you got, I'm sure it'll be okay with the forecast.
Exactly, yeah. And of course, we know during Father's Day, June, in Central Florida, there's always the threat of rain, and that's exactly what we're going to see this weekend. I do think tomorrow will be a little bit more of a washout compared to Sunday, so don't keep Sunday plans, even though we are talking about the word rain, but there's still that opportunity to see some showers and thunderstorms. Out the door this afternoon on a Friday, mostly sunny conditions, couple of clouds. Also, it's pretty breezy outside. Our winds right now, we're directly out of the west and southwest, which is why we're already into the upper 80s and low 90s for many locations. But look at these wind speeds. They're really impressive for this afternoon. Right around midday, we're already seeing winds sustained at 20 to 25 miles per hour. And at times we're seeing 35 to almost 40 miles per hour. So it's breezy, it's gusty, and that's going to pump afternoons where temperatures are going to warm up quickly, hovering in the 90s. Right now, first warning radar is pretty quiet. We're not going to be tracking a lot of rainfall through about the 1 o'clock hour. By 2, up to about a 20% chance. It's actually not going to be until 4, 5, 6 o'clock that we have scattered rain in the forecast. Drying out by 2, but then this cluster of showers and thunderstorms is going to stretch into Central Florida, which will pop up more showers and thunderstorms for tomorrow morning as well as tomorrow afternoon. So Saturday does look like a little bit of a washout. We are going to be calling tomorrow an impact day for strong to severe storms. And that's going to be very isolated across Central Florida. But the overall coverage of the rainfall is going to be more widespread. So here's a look at 3:30 in the morning. A couple of initial developing showers and thunderstorms, and that continues to increase in coverage and intensity throughout the morning hours. So Saturday morning already starting off soggy and pretty stormy. By around 11:30, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, the bulk of the rain and thunderstorms will be down to the south. We'll have some lingering showers for our central and northern spots, with everything drying out by about 3. But then we have another round of rain on the way for tomorrow afternoon. With anything that turns severe, it would likely be wind and rain as the biggest threats. Hail threat and tornado threat is low. It's not 0, but it's something that we're going to watch. Again, wind will be that biggest concern with anything that turns severe. I do want to give you a quick look at the tropics. We were talking yesterday about a tropical wave rolling off the coast of Africa. Now it has emerged into the Atlantic, and in the next 2 days, a 10% chance of formation is possible, but it's really going to develop as it moves into the central Atlantic. So a 50% chance of formation in the next 7 days, where a tropical depression could form next week. As of now, not looking like a big impact to Central Florida. Of course, we will continue to monitor that. Your first warning 7-day forecast shows an impact day tomorrow again for those strong and severe storms. Sunday, no threat of severe weather, but still going to be stormy at times, down to a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, and that continues going into next week.
All right, it may only be June, but we're already talking about Christmas. Disney just announced dates for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party at Magic Kingdom. It runs select nights from November 9th through December 22nd. Tickets are available beginning July 6th. Disney also announced a brand new nighttime party kicking off at Hollywood Studios. Disney Jollywood Nights begins November 11th and runs through December 20th. New at noon, a Harry Potter theme park has opened in Tokyo, Japan. Actor Tom Felton, who played Draco Malfoy, was there for the opening. There aren't any roller coasters, though. Instead, the park reenacts studios where the popular movie was shot. Visitors can see movie props and sets like the moving stairs of the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Next on WESH 2, a blockbuster series is returning to movie theaters. We have a look at the first trailer. And Parting Ways, the partnership that Prince Harry and the Duchess of Sussex are ending. Next at noon. We've been through a lot together, moments that changed us, events we will never forget.
Nancy Alvarez, over 20 years covering Central Florida. on the anchor desk, or live in the field. Always there for you. Central Florida trusts Nancy Alvarez, only on WESH 2 News.
And we're just getting started.
Prince Harry and the Duchess of Sussex are parting ways with Spotify after their successful podcast archetypes. According to a joint statement, the split was mutual. Harry and Meghan signed an exclusive deal with Spotify in 2020 for the podcast that launched its first season last August, with celebrity guests such as Serena Williams and Paris Hilton. The podcast won the Top Podcast Award, the 2022 People's Choice Award. No word yet on what exactly led to the split. We have a first look at the new Indiana Jones movie, and the remaining movies in a blockbuster franchise have been pushed back. David Daniel breaks down what's happening in Hollywood. Netflix is giving you a taste of its popular food shows. The streaming giant is opening a pop-up restaurant later this month. Chefs from shows like Chef's Table, Iron Chef, and Is It Cake will create dishes for dinner and brunch. Diners can taste their food but won't be able to meet the chefs themselves. If you're interested, you'll need to add this to your travel list because the pop-up restaurant will be in LA at a West Hollywood hotel. All right, we are back for WESH 2 News at 4 o'clock this afternoon with the very latest headlines and your forecast for the weekend ahead. We'll see you this afternoon. Have a good day.
Thank you for watching WESH 2 News. Get caught up on local news, originals, and more. Download the Very Local app and stream for free on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, iOS, and Android mobile devices.